Hello and welcome to On the Couch with Steve, a podcast where we help you navigate the often complex world of buying, selling and renting real estate here in Ipswich. I'm Steve Athanates, I'm the owner of NG Real Estate Ipswich. Today I'm joined by Matthew Taylor-Farrington from Purple Bunny Marketing. Thank you, Matthew.
Yes, thanks.
You've come along as my faithful companion here today.
Yes.
And what we're going to talk about today is the state of the Ipswich market. So what happened in Ipswich for the month of July 2023.
Yes.
So I think you wanted to ask me some questions about what's happening here in Ipswich.
Yeah, well, I guess the first question would be, how did last month finish up? And what are we seeing? Are we, are people still selling? Are people still buying?
Yes, I said off air to you, very, very tired. Our team has had a monstrous month. We sold, I've got it written here on my hand just because I'm very tricky. We sold 73 properties in 31 days.
Yeah, wow.
So 73 in 31 days. Anyone who's good at maths, that's more than 2 a day.
Yes.
Starting to move towards 3. And that was $49 million worth of Ipswich real estate transacted in 1 month. So
yes.
Everyone's tired. On that note, big thank you to my amazing award-winning sales team.
Yes.
But just as importantly, our amazing administrators. We've put our administrators under extreme pressure. Yep. Obviously, 73 contracts. We also listed 62 houses in 31 days, which is exactly 2 houses every single day. So our poor administrator, our main lady is a lady by the name of Sarah. Sarah, I'm sorry. I know you're busy. It's Christmas will be here soon.
Yes.
Soon. And then you'll get a lovely break. But look, incredibly busy.
Yeah. Well, that's good because I think last month when we were talking, it was about 2.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that says that July's had a bit of a lift then?
Yeah, definitely. And what we did find in July is buyer numbers were stronger. So if anything, we've talked about there's 52% less stock.
Yes.
So we've got a good, strong supply of buyers, but half as much stock for them to choose from.
Yep.
If anything, I think there's more buyers than we've seen previously. So Australians definitely still have a love affair with real estate, particularly here in beautiful Ipswich. Yeah. Beautiful Ipswich. We all love
Where else
Ipswich.
would you be?
We all love Ipswich.
Correct. Well, I guess that then leads me to ask, so if we're seeing an increase in buyers, what's bringing that? What's driving the buyers to the market? Are we still seeing people moving from down south?
Oh, definitely. We're still getting people coming from interstate. There's no doubt about that at all. Still, the majority of people who are buying in Ipswich are Ipswich people. They've got a reason to be here. So whether it be for employment or family or, whether it's affordability. And I think for people who are coming from Brisbane suburbs who are moving here, a lot of them are moving here for affordability. So what's driving it? In a lot of cases, Ipswich it's definitely not cheap to live here.
Yes.
But relative to other suburbs of Brisbane,
northern Brisbane,
it's definitely cheaper.
Yes.
And potentially significantly cheaper. So here in Ipswich, towards our top end, we sold this month in July. We sold 8 properties over $1 million.
Yes. Which
is unheard of. 8 properties over $1 million. Our most expensive transaction was a $1.8 million property at Deebing Heights, which set a suburb record for the old part of Deebing Heights, Paradise Heights estate there. Now that property transacted in less than 10 days.
Yeah,
so
right.
It was on the market, listed, under contract in less than 10 days. That property is now unconditional and it's going to settle next month. So for a property that's right at the top end at 1.8 million, extremely quick.
Quick, yeah.
Okay, so, and then obviously we've still got property here in Ipswich that you can buy under $400,000.
Yeah.
Now, it's not going to be the Taj Mahal at under 400 grand.
Understandably, yes.
But it still has a level where there is a entry-level market here in Ipswich that a lot of people can afford.
Yes, yeah.
And it's attractive to investors as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Still good returns. So the market overall is really, really strong.
Yeah. So the whole media stirring up with interest rates and everything else, we're not seeing that on the ground.
No. Well, all the predictions that we've talked about in the past, and we've done a lot of these episodes now, if you've listened to the radio and the TV, seriously, you think it's doom and gloom. And we should just turn on the gas and strike a match.
Yes.
It's all going to blow up. But it just has not been the case.
Yes.
And we've all, I guess, waited month on month, waiting to see what's going to happen. Now, we're coming up to spring. Spring is traditionally our strongest season.
Yes.
Okay, the flowers are blooming, the grass is growing, everything's green and beautiful, and people want to sell their house. What we can tell you right now is what we've said previously still applies. There's 52% less stock available right now than there was this time a year ago. Yep. So if you come to market now, my tip to you would be is come now, avoid the rush. People will be waiting for spring, which starts obviously on the 1st of September, and looking to sell in that September, October, November leading up to Christmas.
Yes.
I think it's a mistake. I think you will sell in competition. Okay, and I think a lot of people will come to market during that period of time. If you come to market right now, there is an opportunity to sell in isolation. Now, as a seller, what you need to understand is we have an oversupply of buyers and an undersupply of houses.
Yes.
What do you think's happening with prices?
Correct.
Now, so much so in the last quarter, house prices in Queensland actually went up 3%. Yep. So we've seen the same thing here in Ipswich. Buyers are still paying a premium because there's so little choice that when they find something that they love, they're going to go into a multiple offer situation and they're forced to fight. They've got to compete in order to get the house. And the person who pays the most amount of money on the best terms wins.
Correct.
So what I would suggest is if you're a seller, come to market now. You heard it first here on The Couch with Steve.
Yes. There's a lot of firsts on this.
A lot of firsts, mate.
A lot of firsts on this
very
podcast.
Innovative, actually, this podcast. Amazingly innovative.
Okay, so switching gears then, renting. What's going on in the renting world? Are we seeing any changes there? Because, 2-3 months ago, it was doom and gloom. People were struggling to find homes.
Yes.
Rental prices were going up. So are we seeing any improvements in that space?
Look, I think we are, because we talked about this last month where for rentals, for our tenants out there has been a slight reprieve in terms of prices.
Yep.
Prices have stopped going up, and in some areas they're actually
falling,
coming down. So they're starting to soften. This, we're still not going to say they're cheap.
No.
But relative to what they were 3-4 months ago,
yes,
they're now starting to become more affordable, and there's a greater supply.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, there's still some fairly positive news for tenants as well. Yes. So at the end of the day, again, people will start to move as in the colder months, people are trying to hibernate and keep warm. When the sun starts to shine, people are going to start moving, and all of a sudden you may find that there's an increased demand on rentals. So if you want to change, if you can, if you're not in a fixed lease, move now while there's still not as strong a demand. Yes. And you'll do better. You'll rent cheaper than you will in, say, a month or two.
Yes.
So that would be my advice to tenants too. The key word is now.
Yeah.
Do it now.
Yep.
Okay, we know what the conditions are now. The conditions are good for everyone we've talked about. Do it now.
Okay. And you've been putting everyone else through this today because obviously it's RBA announcement day.
Yes.
And good news for a lot of people, myself included.
Rates are on hold.
Yeah. What's your prediction? Where do you see rates going this year? Do you think we're going to continue to see a rise before the end of the year?
Look, I would be very surprised if we don't see something. Now, we had Steve Beach from Stanford Financial on one of our previous episodes. I thought we were going to get a rate rise today. It didn't occur, and for a lot of people at home, I'm sure you're very grateful and very appreciative of the Reserve Bank not raising the rates. So big congratulations to you guys. Steve's predicted that he thinks we may get one next month. Yep. The Reserve Bank president's going out, so the governor, I beg your pardon, and there's going to be a new one. So maybe I tend to agree with him. I think we've got to get one more. Yep. I think there has to be one. Yep. At least one. So maybe he'll take the pressure off the new incoming governor and just put it up on his
Before he
last
goes.
on his last term, and then take some pressure off the new governor, and maybe give them 2 or 3 months where they can just evaluate what's happening, because obviously inflation's still going down, unemployment hasn't dropped, we're still at record low unemployment. Consumer spending has definitely slowed, and that's why inflation's dropping. But I think we will get one more. And probably next month. And then maybe they will sit back and wait 2 or 3 months and just see what happens. Let the dust settle and we'll see where we go.
Yes.
But all in all, the conditions that exist in the marketplace have never, I guess, come to fruition about what the media predicted. There was doom and gloom, and house prices were going to drop, and people were going to be homeless and all this sort of stuff. It really hasn't happened, and let's hope it doesn't get any worse than it is. So for all the people out there, whether you're a homeowner and struggling, we feel for you. If you're a tenant and struggling, we feel for you. Like no one wants to see anyone struggle. The conditions that exist, unfortunately, do exist. So, but for anyone out there, if you need help, there's obviously organisations that you can reach out to if you're really struggling.
Yes.
Right. So, any more questions for me, Matthew?
No, that's it. I'm done.
All right, mate. Well, look, as always, thank you so much for coming along and asking me some questions about the market. I'm an Ipswich resident. You're an Ipswich resident. All the people out there, generally speaking, are people of Ipswich or in the surrounding communities. Ipswich is a great place to live. We're all very fortunate and blessed to live here. So at the end of the day, let's appreciate what we've got, not what we don't.
Yes.
So if anyone out there wants to hear or see more about what we're talking about here on The Couch with Steve, obviously we've got the link here below. We'd love to hear your feedback on what you think about our podcast, and if you've got any questions. So if you'd like to hear or see more about On The Couch with Steve, feel free to reach out and watch our next episode.